Now let's bring in some estate planning
Sure.
thoughts into this picture. So you missed it the first time go around. How are you thinking about legacy planning and transitioning, you know, ownership of these different things in your enterprise, by while maintaining control of them? How are you thinking about that right now, personally?
Well, I think part of that is I'm working on growing what I would essentially create is a family office environment, right? So you create a family of businesses, a family of cash flow, a family of equity growth that becomes an ability to do more and more. And by the time you've got your leadership team built, you've got all of your due diligence built, you're going out and you're buying companies, you've now got essentially a family. So that's a part of where you and I first connected is, how does this work and how can we bring those things together? We've been using that term loosely here of we're building a family of businesses, all that are somewhat sister businesses tied together at some level, but at the same time, we'll be creating a family office environment. That's one. Two is certainly we're going to learn from those mistakes we made in the past as these entities gain in value and get to that point where there becomes a multiple of value, exponential growth of the valuation of the entities. Well, then there's a great opportunity to use the trust structures and use the pieces that we learned, but we're really too late to the game prior. So this is that moment and that opportunity, right? The other entity is founded and taking on capital. So there's some value there, but it's going to grow in value over time. We're using that much of that trust structure that we had before and figuring out what the right timing is now. Now that it's there, we're using the timing aspect to figure out what's the right timing to kind of pull those triggers. So that's the way we're looking at this. The other is our viewpoint on generational wealth, on the trust structure that we built for our children and what they have to do to get some level of call it payment, call it whatever you want. That's changed, right? So my wife and I we just looked at things so differently now than we did at 55 versus 45. We see the world differently. We see how our children are developing differently. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what to say. We now see that my wife has come to the conclusion I was going to be done at age 55, retired, and not working at all. And really, she came to the conclusion more recently that you're going to go to 75, aren't you, Seth? You're not stopping at 60. And I was like, yeah, I really do. I love what I'm doing. As long as I'm given that time frame and that window, I'm going to drive this for 20 more years with no intent of transferring the business to a kid. We don't see that our kids are in the realm of taking on the business and running a business like this, and that's okay. And I'm okay with it. I think the family-owned transition is very challenging, and so we're just avoiding all of that challenge. And then how do you build a business and an entity, a series of businesses that can be run professionally indefinitely, not requiring an exit because they're cash flow businesses ultimately. And it's just a different mindset. Buy, build, sell versus start, grow, cash flow, and sell if you want to. And that's a different mindset than we had 10 years ago.